Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're doing Ben's album challenge Sunday night, normal show that we do every second week. This will be the last kind of official album that he's giving me for the show as he's taking a hiatus. We will do my 10 favorite episodes we've done next week on the last episode we'll be doing. The other show, the Great Album Challenge, will also be discontinued for the time being. And until Ben comes back from the hiatus and we decide whether we wish to continue with these two shows or come up with some new format and some new show. But at any rate, he's given me an excellent album today by a band called Ecolyn. The album is called As the World. It's from 1995. So there's basically 16 tracks on this album. And I love this album. I have to admit right away, I listened to it twice. I just was enthralled with how good it is. I gave out an 8, 4 7.5s, and 7 7s, which is basically 12 of the 16 tracks. And then the other ones were a couple of 5s, a 5.5, and a 6, I believe. That's what I gave out. So a very good album. Basically, I'll give an overview of the album first and then talk about the tracks individually. So we got a really intricate instrumentation on this album. So lots of really complex instrumentation, and it's woven together very well. It's a very well-oriented album. It's the intricacies and the instruments are put together in such a fashion that they weave a complex but interesting pattern of music. The only other band that I think does it in the same way as these guys is Gentle Giant. It's very similar in their putting together of multiple instruments to make such a fantastic sound. And coincidentally, they also have the similar harmonies as Gentle Giant, where you had one vocalist, but you have a lot of harmonies and musical vocal interludes and stuff like that are really complex, but really well done. The only bands that I see doing stuff like this regularly in their music was Styx, Gentle Giant, a little by Yes, especially in their kind of more poppy era, if you might say. I'm sure there's other bands too, but those are the three that I'm thinking of. So overall, I find their music very, very much in the same kind of realm as Gentle Giant. The biggest difference is that their albums are much clearer in sound. The production is very good. Not that the Gentle Giant album's production wasn't bad. I just think these are better. Okay, so anyways, having made those comparisons to try to set you up for my discussion about the music as well, I found all of their instrumentation really well done. There's some very good talent here. The drummer is excellent. The guitar player is excellent. The bass player plays really well in the spots that he's asked to play. Keyboards, not dominant, but definitely measurably good. Okay, so then you've got the opening track, always the same. This was just a brief song, a little bit of parts here and there, nothing really all that memorable, and so I gave it a 5. But the second track is where it starts to take off. It's got this tight instrumentation, really well done. Vocals are quite good, especially the harmony vocals on this particular track are really excellent, and the guitar solo is especially good on this track. The next song up is when they really start to show me the difference. Up until this point, I'm kind of paying attention, but enjoying it a little bit. But this is where it kind of gets me. Then I start to really focus in. Nice heavy bass opening here. Again, very well developed and intricate arrangements. Very similar to what you might find on a Gentle Giant album, especially some of the later ones. Really catchy. The solo is also very good on this track. Then they make a little bit of a drop here, but sometimes that happens when you have a great song that you really enjoy. The next track is up against the wall. It really has a hard time to make a delivery because it's going up against that track. And that's, I think, maybe what happened here on how long I have waited. Good keyboard and guitar build up here. The drums are technically very sound, and he makes some really good intricate plays here. The harmony vocals are frontal here, strong. I didn't like the track overall as much as the its predecessor. The next one is called Best Regards, another heavy riffing song. Real catchy overall beat. The piano part is good here. There's a little bit of a piano interlude that I think is pretty strong here too. And the harmonies are good and dominating here. This is where I really started to notice the similarities between them and Gentle Giant because of the harmonies. Not only are they so technically good at arranging songs, but they also have this great vocal arrangements too, which is two hallmarks of Gentle Giant. Now, I'm not saying at all that the music sounds like Gentle Giant, although I do hear some similarities when I'm listening to them as well. My favorite song on the album is the next one, which The Cheese Stands Alone, which is kind of a weird title for a song, but it's an excellent song. Very methodical instrumentation. The vocals, again, are strong and complex. The piano piece, really good, with a little bit parts of instrumentation mixed in with it. Yeah, excellent song. Prose is just a little piano part only, bit of an instrumentation. Wasn't bad, but I gave it a 5.5, probably one of the lower scores on the album. A Short Essay, which is the next track. Vocal part with piano to open, really good. Another complex but well put together song. Again, reminding me of Gentle Giant here and some of their more intricate stuff. My Dear Woodworm is the next song. I gave this one a little bit like a 7.5. Really good song. Some great keyboard parts here. Harmony vocals are strong again. Seems to be a theme on the album. Lots of very strong harmony vocals. They're all working together to create that kind of sound. And then you get entry 11/16 or 11/19/93. I'm not sure what the number is there for. Maybe it's just supposed to be entry and this is a repeat of that song, or since the album came out in 95, it's more, maybe this was the original version and they put it on the track and then they dated it so we would know what it was. I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody out there knows. I didn't see anything to indicate why that had a date beside it. This is a more single vocal opening, but then it becomes a little bit of a subdued track, and then the harmony vocals kind of become strong again. You get the guitar solo is very strong and tasteful, with a nice keyboard build up in it as well. One for the Show, which is I kept thinking it was going to be like I don't know why I thought this, but I thought it was going to be a cover of a Trooper song, and I'm thinking, how would these guys even know who Trooper was? Anyways, it turned out not to be, although they did have some similar use of the words from the song, although they weren't the same words or anything like that. There's a similar use of it. Really catchy beat. Really like the twin multi-vocal layers on it as well. Really good. Excellent. The last 5 tracks, all strong except for the next one, the Wiblet, which it's a nice complex part, but it's not really a strong song for them on this album. The last 4 finish it off really strong. 2 7s, 2 7.5s, really good. Very complex build up with a lot of strong instrumentation. The solo was really good, and it's a very clear sound as it is on most of the tracks here, and that's Audio Verret. The next song, Settled Land, slow, methodical, almost ballad-like at the beginning. Not a ballad, but in that same kind of range. Vocals are multiple, some harmony parts that are good. it gets more complex and heavier as the song goes on. Yeah, I like that one too. A Habit Worth Forming, which is the next song. Single vocals with some forward piano here. So you got this guy singing with the piano. It's really up front so you can hear it really clearly. Multiple vocals with some heavy complex piano is strong throughout the entire track. The last song, Never the Same, some flute and orchestral touches added to the song, as well as their usual roster of complex, intricate arrangements. Yeah, it's just such a strong album, I think. I had never heard this album before. I have listened to a couple of Ecolyn albums before, Me being the main one. And there was one other one, I think it was their debut album, that I listened to as well. This one is very strong. Overall, very complex, intricate arrangements with lots of very intricate harmony vocals with good lead vocals. I don't think the lead vocals are as strong as the harmony vocals. I think there's a discrepancy there between them. But really catchy and interesting songs to listen to. Most of them are all within that same kind of melodical range of complexity that most people who listen to Gentle Giant or Yes or even some of the older Genesis stuff would find absolutely well within their wheelhouse. Yeah, really a solid album. It's an album I'm looking to buy it because I want to hear more of it. I mean, I could go back on the internet, but then I'm listening to it through my computer, which I don't enjoy as much. And I tend to like album-oriented because I like to listen to the entire album. I feel that most albums that are written, especially in the prog genre, tend to be written to be listened to as a whole, as opposed to taking individual tracks out and trying to get something out of it. Overall, this is a strong album. Highly recommend it. I think it was an excellent choice by Ben for this final episode. And I hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Ben's Album Challenge. We are glad that you've supported this particular show for the entire duration of it. And hopefully we may come back with this again in the when Ben comes off this hiatus. And if we don't, we'll be doing something else, I'm sure. So I hope to see you all again in the future, and check out some of the other shows that I do as well. Please hit the like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Any comments about this album or any of the shows on here or anything I've said or done, please leave in the comment section below and hit the notification bell if you wish to be notified. And we will see you next Sunday for the final episode, which will be the 10 best episodes of the year, which I think there's plenty to choose from. And we will see you then. Take care. Bye.